right, YouTube. This is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Monday evening. It is 8:22 p.m. On the line in the Discord chats is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mickey. Mickey, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mickey Barfield, writer for the Polyhedral Knights.
That's right. So Mickey has evidently been a follower of the channel for a little bit anyway, and kind of hit me up on Facebook, that vile, detestable social media platform that I can't stand, but yet, I've only had it for like 2 months now, and I've already gotten like 30 extra subscribers. So it obviously does work. Mickey, you make like awesome. I've never heard of your games before. You were kind enough. Well, I mean, there's just so many out there. And you were kind enough to send me a copy of the current game you have out. Go ahead and tell us the name.
It's called Pirates of a Shattered World.
Yeah. And if you think this is a standard pirate game, oh, my friends, my meanies, it is not. I'm not a fan of pirates. I'll tell you that right now. I'm probably the one person in the world that doesn't like Captain Jack Sparrow. But I'm a ninja guy. There's age-old, ninjas versus pirates. I'm a ninja guy. My wife is a pirate, so, go figure. Opposites attract. But you made pirates seem freaking cool in my eyes. And I didn't get to read the whole thing, but this is obviously a labor of love. You went in 600 different directions, but it kind of works. The gods section, I did read that, and I was really intrigued because we got Mars in there, we got a couple other gods, and they're all vested. They're all fighting for your, and in the whole process of becoming, like, I don't want to say cleric because I don't think that a prophet of the gods is a process, and we'll get into that later. But tell us first of all, what else? What other games are you famous for? And I use that word famous very loosely, by the way.
Maybe infamous. How's that?
I like it. That's a good word.
So I actually have them right here. So
hold them up. Let's whore yourself out, man. That's what we're all about.
Dark Times.
Never heard of it. Looks cool.
Dark Times is a mashup of cyberpunk meets supers. Imagine if corporations figured a way to create supers, and they see them as company property. And they're just really oppressed people who are almost forced into kind of slavery because you're not seen as human, you're seen as just company property. And there's a whole lot of kind of rebelling against the system type thing and trying to help out a downtrodden society type thing. Some people say imagine The Boys mixed up with cyberpunk.
I like it. And did I mention that superheroes is my absolute favorite genre?
It's one of my favorites too.
Yeah. So I mean, I got Champions back there. I got every iteration of Mutants and Masterminds you could think of.
I think I've got every superhero game there is. We're gonna now since we're comparing here, we're guys being guys. Mine's bigger than yours. Oh yeah.
Have you heard of Guardians?
Oh, I've played it.
By Black Tower Enterprise?
Yes.
Yes.
And I've even played their other games. I think it was called Dominion, called.
Yes, Dominion was a spin-off of Guardians. Percentile-based system. I have the original
Justifiers.
Justifiers. Well, that's slightly different, but I have the original. True. And little digest-sized books. We're showing our age now because these... Boy, Justifiers was great.
I love that game.
Yeah, Justifiers was great. The only thing
I will admit some of what I swiped from that I kind of used.
That's called flattery.
Pirates of Shattered World.
Yeah.
Homage.
I believe Guardians was inspired by Justifiers, if I remember reading some fluff.
I think so.
Yeah, because Justifiers
that came out afterwards.
Yes, and not too many people. I did see for a while they had Guardians on drive-through as a PDF.
What?
Yeah,
Shut the truck up. I have to go get that.
It's gone because I think the license is reverted back to whoever. But yeah, I have an actual print copy of it. The white cover with the Hulk-looking dude on it. Yeah.
If you want to obscure, I have a game called Providence, where it's almost like a fusion between like fantasy meets supers.
Yeah. One of my earliest reviews. It was by Zid Creation. Oh, I played it with the creators
Same here at Gen Con, way
Yeah.
back when.
I played
Yes.
it in DungerCon in San Francisco, well, in the Bay Area.
Nice. Yeah.
And probably the worst role-playing game I've ever played.
Oh
I
man, I
hated
liked
it.
it.
Oh, roll 2d10, but you can never roll more than 5d10, but you only roll 2d10. What?
Well,
What do you?
I
It
will
was
admit
by
the
Zid
rules were a
Creations.
little
ZID
weird, but I like the
Creations.
setting.
The setting and the art was phenomenal, and I don't think I have the books out anymore. I think I was so ashamed
Mine
of
right
them.
over there.
I put them in a box. Well, unfortunately, what you can't see is this shelf right here is 8 feet tall, 5 feet wide. And as you can see, there's not a lot of space there. And then I've got boxes on either side here that I won't show you. So,
Oh,
full
yeah,
of games. So
I got my room of shame.
yeah, no, this is my room of honor. I am very proud of my geek flag is flying high. I also paint miniatures, so I have my little paint up.
Oh yeah,
set up here.
my craft table's right there. So
Good man. All right,
Yeah.
so you've done these quirky
some other
games.
ones.
What's
this
next?
one here.
I've heard of Wicked Packs. I've heard of that.
You have? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the best way to describe it is someone said it's like the Dresden Files with the VIN number filed off.
Nice.
So and then we did well, I'm doing these in reverse order.
That's
Then
okay.
we Pathogen Classified.
I have
It's a
not heard of
post-apocalyptic
that one.
survival horror. Yep. And then our first game, Spy, which the title can't say it at all. And actually, that's a Jason Engel cover.
Nice. I'm a huge
Jason
fan of
Engel was
Jason's work. I mean, he did a lot.
Super nice guy.
Did a lot for Sean Patrick Fannin, for Evil Beagle game, Beagle game, blah, 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 and his other imprint, which I can't remember, the one that did Shine Tar. I had Sean on the channel not too long ago.
Okay.
Him and I are pretty good friends. I've gamed with him at several conventions. I helped to play test Rifts, Savage Worlds Rifts, before they went to Suede, which still leaves a bitter taste in my mouth because they knew they were doing Suede and they still released it under the old. They should have waited. And now, you got the first edition of the Rifts books in the old edition, the Adventure Engine, and then you have the new edition in the second wave of Rift books, which are in the Suede rules. And I'm like, really, guys, come on. And I don't know if they've actually reprinted them with the Suede rules or not. I think they just put out like a PDF for the conversion. But either way, still super cool. I'm a huge Savage Worlds geek. But so how long have you been doing this?
Writing games or just gaming?
Well, I assume you're around my age, so you've probably been gaming for a long time.
I started running games back when I was 14, and I'm 56. So.
Yep. So
I've been around a while.
Yep. You're about a year older than me. Man, you're old.
Yes, I've been writing games. I think. Well, when I originally wrote Spy, I wrote it on a whim. It was really for a friend of mine. We were going to do something. He didn't want to play what we've been playing, and we decided let's do a spy game. And at the time, all I had was James Bond by Victory Games, which was a great game.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to do anything very James Bondish. We're like, okay, we'll do more kind of covert ops, really kind of.
Oh, you should have went with Top Secret.
Kind of mix that and a little bit of Metal Gear Solid type thing, So I said, screw it. So I spent a day just writing out some rules. And I ran it for him and a few friends, and they loved it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I went to a convention, said, I'll run this, and ran it. And wow, when are you publishing this? And went, publishing it? I don't know.
What's that four-letter word?
Yeah. And I contemplated doing it. I was prepping to, and then my daughter was born, and she had some medical issues. My wife had medical issues, and put it on the back burner for, 9 years, I guess.
Wow.
And then her Kickstarter was out, and said, oh, you can put that on there and see if anybody funds it. And I'm like, sure, what the hell. Shot a video, threw it on there, and we got funded. I was like, okay, I guess I better produce this game. So we produced it, and weird. As soon as I was putting it out, I had an idea for another game. It was for Wicked Packs, but as I'm writing it, I had the idea for Pathogen Classified right in the middle. It's a weird. I don't know if other writers get this, but my brain just shotgun blasts shit everywhere. Like
that is a very common Monty Cook is notorious for it. Jay
Yeah.
Lasardre, he's a great friend of the channel's, and he's
Mm-hmm.
He's given me a plethora of books in my library. He
Mm-hmm.
is the same way. He's writing a game, and then an idea pops in his head, and he's like, "Well, I'm getting burnt out on this, so I'm going to palate cleanse with this game." And so totally understand where you're coming from. I think it's that and I have that same. I have all these crazy. I just don't have the follow through to get it down onto the paper. But that's why I do this. I'm better at this than I am creating games.
Well, you do it very well.
Oh, thank you. You're too kind. You're just saying that because you're on the channel.
No. Seriously, that's why I sent you a copy because I really.
Well, I'm going to tell everybody out there. He did reach out to me on Facebook, and he's like, "I am so scared to send this to you, and I hope And he was just so personable and so nice that I said, "How can I not talk to this guy?" And so he sent me a PDF copy, and I like I said, I'm not a fan of pirates. I was like, yeah, pirate game, whoop-de-doo. And then I started reading. I went, ooh, I like that. And, ooh, I like that.
Well,
ooh.
honestly, in all reality, maybe pirates is
a loose
mislabeling of the game. But it's okay.
They're on water, and there's
the world has broken up. There is lots of
Let's get it straight though.
Shift.
It's an apocalyptic. Like
very, very apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's not your normal Jack Sparrow, Captain Blythe. This is end of the world. Shit's hit the hand grenade, and you guys are struggling to survive. The gods are real. There's leviathans in the water. There's, it's the pirate motto though. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine, unless you can stop me from taking it.
Right. So essentially, what happened was the world basically broke from a massive war with these aliens who were trying to invade Earth, and the world was already recovering from a post-apocalypse. These aliens came.
So this is post-apocalypse?
It is post-apocalypse. And so this whole world just went through turmoil, really broke apart, and the aliens said, screw this, they left, but they left all their ground troops behind. So, and ironically, the ground troops, the aliens were Elarians, and they looked like they're elves. And the humans call them elves, which they detest that name. So in my game, the elves are actually kind of the jerks.
I love it.
But this is almost 1,000 years after this. And mankind, or everybody's just rebuilt themselves in this almost medieval state. And since there's so much water around and everything's broken apart, alien ships are very prevalent. Get around. And of course, with that, there's piracy. But you can do a totally land-based game if you wanted to. And there's all wide variety of things. But this thing was heavily inspired by really Michael Moorcock's Hawkmoon series, which I adore. Everyone's more of a Tolkien fan or a Conan fan. I'm a Moorcock fan. Elric, Hawkmoon, Corum, all that stuff.
Yeah, fantastic.
I think I cut my fantasy teeth on those books.
Yeah. It's the first... I mean, of course, I knew about Conan and I knew about Cthulhu.
Yeah.
I wasn't into horror, so that didn't do anything for me. Conan was cool, but they were always short stories, and there just wasn't, there wasn't enough there. I wanted more, and by the time you were ready, it was like, it's done. And it was very limited writings, unfortunately, is the way it worked. And then... But Moorcock, he had the Elric series, he had the Corum series, he had the Hawkmoon series, and so I just gobbled them up. They were fantastic, and Elric of Melnborn, or however you want it, Melimini, or however everybody says it some way different, is it's been a good 15, 20 years since I read those books, but I need to go back. I just got a new Kindle, and I'm telling you, after you and I talked via Facebook, I'm like, ooh, I've got a new Kindle. I should go buy those, because I believe they have a collection you can buy for a discounted price. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So obviously you cut your gaming chops probably on D&D to start.
Started was Gamma World first edition.
World, okay, first edition. Yeah, okay, so that flavored you quite a bit,
Yeah.
judging by the
Then
games that you've made.
D&D, then Traveler.
Then Traveler, where you can die in character creation. Yay!
Oh
I'm a
yes.
gimp. Maybe I'll make a new character. No, I want to play
I'm a
this
corpse.
one. Yeah, I'm a paraplegic. Let's go. Same. My first game was D&D. My mom bought me a little Ziploc bag from the local grocery store. It was Eckerd's Drugs. They're since long out of business.
Oh wow. Yeah.
But it was in a Ziploc bag with, and it was a stapled 2 white books with a chit counter, and she cut them out and, put them in a red Solo cup, and we shaked them up. I don't think it was a red Solo cup. I think it was just a red plastic cup from the dollar store.
Dixie or something like that. Well,
Dixie, but it could have been Dixie.
Yeah.
Well, Dixie is red Solo cup, isn't it? No,
I don't
Red
know.
Solo Cup's its own company now. But anyway,
Okay.
you get the gist.
Yes.
And then of course it ran it. Then my mom was my first GM. So my mom read it, and my mom was an avid reader. Anne McCaffrey, of course. I read Lord of the Rings, really early, and I just. I love Lord of the Rings. The movies, I think, are some of the best movies that have been made besides the Star Wars original trilogy. Because it was just so, it was so in depth.
Epic.
Yeah. And Moorcock, Tolkien's writing is amazing, but I know the grass is green. I don't need 3 pages to tell me how verdant green the grass was that Frodo walked on. Move on, buddy. Let's get to the orcs. Let's get to the good stuff. So he was very verbose in his writing and just descriptive beyond belief, which is great now in my later years. But when I was a wee lad trying to read that was like pulling teeth, because like, okay, I get the grass is green. Let's go. And so, I put them down and I had to read them for school. So it was even worse because then you had to read them and you couldn't fake it because, back then nobody, that stuff was so few and far. Now you can fake saying, because you've seen the movies or whatever, but there was no Cliff Notes back then, So obviously you cut your teeth. You've been doing this obviously as long as I have, so that makes you an honorary grognard. Our knuckles drag the ground for a reason. You're lucky I walk upright, is what I always say. But what was the burning desire to create games? Now you talked about how Spy came about, and your friends were like, but did you always have that creative? Like when you were running games, was it over the top stories that were so intricate, notebooks full of notes and?
Well, it's weird. Technically speaking, Spy actually wasn't my first game. I did one as kind of a how do I say, be spiteful to my ex.
Nice, I like it.
This was the time we were dating, and she was complaining about how every RPG there was always this need to have violence and combat and whatnot, and there's no games that don't have that. So it was more like, okay, challenge accepted. So I wrote up these rules called Bed Sheets and Briefcases, a soap opera role-playing game.
Nice.
And I ran it. Oh my god, they absolutely loved it. And I keep threatening I'm actually gonna pull that out and just polish it up and just publish that turd. So,
you could put red lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig.
That's right. But segue away from your question. I apologize.
No, that's there's no format here, man. There's hell. I already forgot. So don't feel bad. The creative process. Were you always that kind of GM that had copious notes and?
Well, no, actually, no. I have a rough outline because I know running a game is like herding cats.
Exactly.
Those
Players will do the
go
opposite
this
of
way,
what
that
you
way, and do this and that and whatever. So, but I like that chaos.
Right. Same, exactly the same. I do the same thing. I have a little journal and I put a rough outline. That's why I don't write. Yep. I don't write.
Yep.
I don't write adventures, and I don't typically purchase pre-written adventures. And if I do, I don't run them as they are in the book. Now, that being said, in my old age, pressed for time, like I was talking, I have an autistic child. My wife and I both work 40 plus hours a week. And, there's just not enough hours in the day. So now at this age, I'm like, oh shit, I got a game Friday night. Look, pre-written adventure. I skim it through and I kind of run it roughly off the cuff. So I make a couple notes. The joy is my players keep coming back for the torture. So I must be doing something right.
Well, what we do is, and I carried over how I do things into our games and our games we publish. like I said, I write a rough outline, and I know some publishing companies they do these long, detailed things where, and I'm sure, like you say, you're pressed for time. Like, listen, I need the cliff notes so I
Yeah.
can run this damn thing
Yeah.
and get these guys entertained.
Right.
And I write my outlines that way, and I publish them even that way.
Yeah.
And we even did something for all of our, well, I wouldn't say all of our games, but most of our games, starting with Pathogen. We did, originally, we were calling them NPC cards. And the deck of 25 cards, you had like eight good guys, eight bad guys, and eight neutral guys.
Right.
Had like a little paragraph of the background and had three plot scenes. So you literally, if you're pressed for time, pull one out and okay,
Go.
this is gonna revolve around this guy right here. You get this plot scene here, boom,
Yeah.
run with it.
Yeah.
And we've done that for
I
every
had
game.
some plot dice, and I lost them, and I've moved so many times. But they used to be
Oh.
you would roll 3 dice, so it would have,
Mm.
a situation, an environment, and an antagonist, and you would just roll
Nice.
3 dice, and they were 6-sided dice, and they had little, so it would say supervillain, grocery store, cloudy day, and so
Okay.
there you go. There's an adventure right there. You're good to go. So Zadmar is a German fellow. He's a friend of the channel. He's a fellow game designer and producer, and he does he does Tricube Tales, and he does these one shots, one pages, and he does like a deck of cards, and like the cards will have their it's very reminiscent of Savage Worlds deck, but he has little icons on the bottom based on whatever game it is. So like he's
Really?
got a sci-fi game, and his cards is like a sci-fi deck, and it's got all these icons, and it's just you draw out 3 or 4 or 5 cards, and you can infer those icons. You can just make an adventure, so it's very, very handy, and I love them. I use them all the time. So I think creativity is where you find it. You read the current events or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, and you go with it. So yeah. So there's a couple of questions that I like to ask everybody that I interview, and they're not serious questions, but I think they're thought provoking. So
Okay.
and they're in no particular order. I always mix them up because I never remember what they are until I start talking about them, and then I remember them because I'm not smart, and why would I write anything down? That makes too much sense. My favorite one is you're on an airplane. You're going to crash on a deserted island. The pilot's already ejected. You're fucked. Bottom line. You're going down, but you had the forethought to pack one RPG. You're going to be on this island for the rest of your life. No chance of a rescue. What's that one RPG that you can bring with you? One book. Not a series of books. One book. Which one is it? And it can be something you wrote or your favorite or whatever it is, but you're on this island for the rest of your life.
One book. Damn. I have a RPG addiction.
Look who you're talking to here, buddy.
I know. God, and my players, my regular players, I think they go into spasms. Like, I want to try this game out here. Like, oh God, what, you want to try another game out? Yeah.
I've yet to find the perfect gaming group, by the way, but I'm working on it. My local players are pretty good. They're tolerant. We started with Pathfinder. Now I'm running Warhammer. Go figure.
My guys, I will say I love them. I mean, I've been gaming with these guys for over 20 years.
Nice.
And matter of fact, they're my sounding board. If I am testing something out,
You bounce it off of them.
And matter of fact, I'm actually testing something out currently that we're going to try and see if we can release before even Gen Con as a kind of a part of what we call our impulse line, which will be a more affordable, hopefully under $20 game.
That's really good. You're stalling.
Oh, sorry.
Nice try.
I
know.
Herd of cats. I am the herd of cats.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm the herder. You're the cat.
What,
That's okay.
What game? Shit.
I'm going to start playing the Jeopardy theme here in a second.
Well, because I guess it breaks down to what genre? Because I mean, like you said, superheroes. I love superhero games. Would I always want to run that though?
Well, you're on an island by yourself, so it's something to read.
Oh, by myself.
Yeah. You're stuck on an island by yourself. You can only bring one book. Which book is it?
Wow. By myself.
It's
so it has to be
tough.
something really. Yeah, that is because I mean, it's not you can play with other people. But
But is it
DC
something to
has like
read? And let's face it, we all have those
right.
6 other friends in our head. We wouldn't be in this hobby if we didn't. We're all a
Damn,
little schizophrenic.
there's a bunch of things I can think of right off the top of my head. Which one would take precedence? I don't know. Um, I have been enjoying reading Simba Room.
Ah, excellent.
I
Excellent. Very
like
good
that
choice.
game. Yeah. So I'd say if I had to right now, maybe that.
Okay. All right. That's
Yeah.
a good answer, by the way.
Yeah.
First of all, the art is very thought provoking. It's another
Oh.
game where the elves are not necessarily nice.
Oh yeah,
So
they're
yeah,
dick.
yeah. Especially the summer elves because they're all full of piss and vinegar. The winter
Oh
elves
yeah.
are like a little bit older and okay, we told you not to come in here and you did. Sick 'em, summer elves. Uh,
Well, they did warn them.
right, hey. Cool. Well, that's a very good answer, and like I
Okay.
said, that's a really good answer. The second question is, if you could sit down and run a game for anybody, any past, present, future person, living, dead, doesn't matter, who would it be? And there is no wrong answer. It's your answer, and it's the right answer. But whoever it is respected. Some people have said, like one guy said his dad, because his dad really supported him, and his dad died before he got his first game out. So, it's kind of a
Don't get me wrong.
tearjerker.
Don't get me wrong. I love my family, but
Yeah,
they
I get it with
never
that.
understood my hobby.
Right,
So
exactly. Well, my mom did,
um,
but unfortunately she's gone. So that would be my choice. I
okay.
would love to run a game for my mom.
This is gonna sound even probably cheesier.
Nope,
Okay.
there's no wrong answer.
So, and this is sort of a fantasy type thing, wishful thinking type thing. Um, I would have to say that would be running game for my daughter. And the reason I say that because you mentioned your son's autistic.
Oh,
My daughter has Rett syndrome, which is a pretty severe spectrum of autism.
right,
She can't speak. Can't even control her motor functions.
right,
She has seizures, gets fed through a tube, but
right.
she's the sweetest kid in the world, I tell you. And I always imagine when I had a kid that, me and my son or daughter, whoever it would
Yeah,
be, I'd run games for them, do things with them and whatnot. And every time I got friends who have kids and they run games for me, I won't lie, there's just that pang that just hits me.
right.
And like, oh man.
You're about to make me cry, and it's not a pretty sight.
Yeah,
So,
sorry, I would
no,
straight up
I totally get it, man.
I was straight up
my
murder to be able to run for her.
yeah, no, that's awesome, and I give you much kudos, and that's a great answer. So then the next kind of thought-provoking question is, what's that one game that you wish you would have wrote, that you have either in your collection or you know of, and you've read it and you went, wow, that's fucking amazing. I wish I would have thought of that.
Actually, it's not so much that I wish I thought of it. I did think of it. They just beat me to the punch and did it better.
Damn you, Gary Gygax. No way. Dave Arnaz.
No, actually, no. And sadly, I can't tell you the name of the people who wrote it. It's Scion.
Oh.
I literally had that idea. Me and my buddy Clay, we were talking about that. We were doing research on it. I just took forever doing that, and all of a sudden, Scion rolls out. Like, holy shit, they're doing that. Like, okay, well,
beat me to it.
guess we're not doing that.
Yeah, son of a. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, but hey, hats off to them. I mean, there's a lot of games I've had ideas for that people have rolled out, and like, oh, you know what? I don't need to do it. Someone else has done
Yeah,
it.
there you go. It's already done for me, and they did it pretty well too.
Yeah.
All right, and so last but not least, barring your games that you've had a hand in creating and or writing, what game would you like to play in?
Oh God, that list is way long.
Well, pick one. It can be. It doesn't even have to be your top favorite. Just one that you'd really like to just sit down and play. Not GM, just play. Be a player.
Yeah, no, because I
go
don't
crazy.
play that much. It's rare I can play.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Actually, I've the other game I've been reading, which I like its homage is Frontier Space.
It's,
I
had the
love
designer on the
Star
channel.
Frontiers. Love Star Frontiers.
Right.
Back when I actually was playing it, I had a friend of mine. We were in high school. He would run it, and he did always a great job on it. I loved it. I always played the Usarians, and and I saw these guys did that. I was like, holy shit! So I picked it up, and I was like, oh my god, this is what Star Frontiers should have become. And then I found out, oh wait, they used to write Star Frontiersmen,
Yeah.
and I used to that. I was like, my God, no wonder. And that'd be a game I'd love to play. Have someone
Yeah.
else run for me and play it. I'd eat that shit up.
It's funny because I've had a number of people ask me to run it, so I may have to
I
keep
actually
you in
ran
mind.
it.
Yeah, I've never got to run it, but
Good game.
yeah, I have it, and I've played in 2 games of Bare Bones Fantasy, and I absolutely loved it.
That's a good game. Yeah.
A guy at one of the local conventions here basically took the system and did Skyrim,
Mm-hmm.
the computer game.
Yeah. Great setting.
What a great setting for a simple, percentile based mechanic system. So kudos to Brian. He's that GM, and he's a big, not a big, but he's one of the teachers at the UMD, which is University of Minnesota, Duluth, or as I say, Duluth. Brooklyn comes out, Duluth. Cool. So,
Yeah.
what's in the future? What is there anything? What's the name of your imprint? What's the name of the company?
The Polyhedral Knights.
The Polyhedral Knights.
Now,
Yes.
I found this funny because I didn't realize this. So usually when you have like your games, marked here, for like
Yeah.
your product number.
Yeah.
Usually when you do your abbreviation and some number following it. Yeah, we're TPK. Not intentional. I'm like,
Right.
shit.
Sure.
We're total party kill.
Hey, that's a game for Mr. Mean. I get to kill everybody? Yes. And this company is my kind of company. Kill them all. Let God sort them out.
So yeah, we do have games. Actually, I have 3 games in the process. I've actually play tested and working on different times and stuff like that. One of them is going to be actually, I think I remember. Yeah, all 3 of these ones are going to be coming out. It's going to be part of what we call our Impulse line, which we're aiming them to be not as heavy of books as like these things here. Okay.
Right.
And where we can actually produce them and sell them retail, hopefully like close to $20 or just a tad under. So
that's
that
awesome.
way people, because I mean, let's face it, a lot of these games nowadays, they're pretty much coffee table books that you gotta spend $60 for, and then you probably gotta buy 4 or 5 of the fucking things.
Right. Oh yeah,
Yeah, and we got kids and we got to take care of them, and that eats into our budget right there. So our gaming things like, what can I afford?
Yeah.
I have an addiction to feed. It's clear.
Let's see. The kid eats dinner, or I buy that new game system.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have a wife to rein me in.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't trade her for the world.
Yeah, no, I
might sell her for the universe, but I wouldn't trade her for the world.
My wife married down.
It's funny. I say the only reason she married me is I can reach the stuff on the top shelf. I got like a 6'2" wingspan, So I'm only like 5'11" at best, but I got a 6'2" wingspan, so she gets me to, she's 5'1", so.
So is my wife. She's 5'1".
So at 5'1" and 3/4, I believe, and that 3/4 is important. Don't you dare forget it. So we just we just celebrated 12 years. So yeah, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we
she's up for parole pretty soon. She gets to leave me, I think, but she won't.
It's a review board.
Review board. It'll be tanked because I'm a menace to society. So it's her penance. Yeah, she's great. She's not a gamer, which is in a way kind of good because she'll play like board games with me every once in a while.
Exactly. Same with my wife. I mean, she'll play.
They have to be cooperative though, because evidently I'm too much of a dick to play against each other because she won't play with me. We used to play Star Frontiers or Star. It's a card game. I forgot what it's called. Star. I think it's Star Frontier or anyway. It's a non-collectible card game where you deck building.
Yeah, Star Realm.
Star Realms. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, great game. And then I bought Hero Realm or whatever it was, the fantasy, whatever it is, the fantasy version. And she's like, nope, not playing that with you. And I went all in, I went balls deep on it, right? And she's like, nope. And I'm like, okay, well, I got this card game I can't play with anybody. So yeah, but no, she's a trooper, and she'll sit there and listen to me babble about shit, and she'll go back and watch my videos, and stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, it's really neat you talk about that, and she's totally just placating me, and I know it, but I take it because I love her. So
yeah, my wife's the same way. She not really into RPGs. She likes board games, especially resource management games.
Oh yeah,
she likes that. Because it's you're playing against each other, but you're not really kind of almost directly against each other. You're more like trying to be a better manager, I guess. Stuff.
She likes the Pathfinder adventure game. Excuse me, it's not you, sir. I've had a very long day.
I understand. Same here.
Yeah, we didn't get home until like 6:00. So, and my day started at 5:30. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wake up early, go to bed late.
Yeah.
I get all the sleep I need when I'm dead.
That's right. And damn, Tiny Tina's Wonderland came out, and shit. And the only time I get to play it is after my wife's done watching Vikings. So, she's a Netflix. She binge watches.
I totally
I watched some of it with her, but
Last Kingdom.
Yeah, I'm just not a huge TV guy. I like movies. I want to be entertained for like an hour and a half and then go away.
Call it a day.
Yeah, we don't even have cable. We have 2 or 3 of the streaming services, and that's it. So, but yeah, so yeah, it sounds like we're very similar in our lifestyles.
But yeah, I do have 3 other games I'm going to be rolling out here.
All coming to Kickstarter.
Yeah, they will be. Yeah. The one that's probably going to come out next will be Wasteland Sagas, which is it's a true post-apocalyptic game. It's going to be kind of a mishmash of Gamma World-esque meets Fallout type thing, and it's going to be very affordable. I think what we're aiming at is like about $19 retail.
Yeah.
And it's a complete game. For sure, but we might actually be able to pull it off with a hardcover. We're switching a new printer for Pirates. It's actually been sent off to our printer already, but it's going to be like 3 months before we get it.
Yeah.
Because our previous one we used it for, they've gone through the roof. Their quality's kind of went down.
Right.
Like, okay. So we shopped around, found this one here, and this is our first time using them. So if everything flies with them, then I'll just start printing through them instead. And
right.
I might be able.
China-based printing company?
Asia-based, we'll say. Okay.
Gotcha.
So,
well, I mean, there's only 3 choices. It's either Asia, Canada, or the U.S.
Well, actually, we had one potential one, but let's just say their country's in turmoil right now. So they're not exactly viable.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't really make any deals until I'm like, okay, well.
Comrade.
Yeah, right. So, but yeah, it should work out because the sample they sent us, paper quality is good. The production type of books they showed us, they printed up, I was like, solid. Yeah. I was like, okay, so if I can get it through them, I'll probably do an option of either soft and hardcover for either one. And but so that's one. The other one I'm working on is this one really melts people's brains until they play it, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" It's called Renegade City. It's a Grand Theft Auto style type game where you're playing members of some organized crime, and you're either trying to work to get out or work to get further in. And now here's the real weird part: you don't use dice; you use dominoes.
Nice. That's innovative and different.
Yeah, we're gonna actually.
I'm a huge Domino's fan, so that might appeal to me.
It's a double 6 set.
Nice.
Yeah, and it really kind of fits with the theme, because I know gangbangers, like to play with that, because I grew up South Florida.
You got to slam them bones, man.
Right, got to drop from your boneyard.
Yeah.
But I've play tested it several times at some small conventions, and people went nuts for it. So we're gonna do that part of our impulse line as well too. because the good thing is there's no magic in there. But the nice twist about that game is it's set in a fictitious city called Voorhees. Which be like, you mean it's Jason Voorhees? Like, yeah, because the backstory is it's set in like this coastal town in South Carolina. And way back during the colonial time, there was the Voorhees family, and well, they were evil, and they were burned as being witches. Well, the rumor is nowadays that the Voorhees are still around. Well, so much so that this weird cult has sprung up around town. They call themselves the Sons of Voorhees, and they actually are starting to move into some of the criminal elements where the other gangsters are like not liking this because you got these crazy fanatical cultists who are horning in their actions. So you kind of have almost a little bit of sort of pseudo horror mixed in with gangster activity.
You could go crazy with it.
Yeah. So I've run it several times. People love it. And the other one we're working on is called Southern Gothic, and it takes place after the Civil War and pretty much a war-torn remained South. And you're dealing with family bloodlines. You make a character with certain bloodlines, and your family may have made a deal with some devil or somebody, and you have your curse, and you have also your benefits that travel throughout those things there. And it's really a lot of things that are, let's just say, a lot of demons who are capitalizing on the grief and desperation of people.
Right. And if such things did exist, why would they not? Right.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, totally. The True Blood series on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the author, the young lady that wrote the books, but they kind of started dabbling in that. And then of course they did a whole, I think it was season 2 or season 3, with the whole old gods and everything, and you know how they. So really cool. That would be great inspiration for that. I think. As a GM, I would look to a series like that or Get Out. I think it is where the people were, current movie. So yeah. So you got some irons in the fire. You've got some stuff coming out.
My brain doesn't shut off. That's unfortunate.
Hey man, that's there's nothing wrong with that, and we need people like you, so people like me have something to do. So I thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And Mr. Mean Speaks is obviously a voice. I gave you access to the publisher channel where you can promote your stuff, and like a lot of the guys will have discounts on Drive Through RPG, and they'll put post up there. We're a small group, but we're pretty rabid and loyal, and try to help out everybody that we can. That's the whole point of why I do this. Is I suffer from PTSD. I have bouts of anger and stuff from Desert Storm and Grenada. I was in both of those conflicts, and it's just a way for me. It's an outlet. Role-playing games are an outlet for me, and it helps me, as I like to say, maintain my sanity.
That can be cathartic.
Yeah, so that I'm not a picture in the post office on the wall.
Have you seen this guy?
Yeah, have you seen this guy? Yeah, you don't want that. What the whole reason Mr. Mean got started is I was looking. I wanted to do something on YouTube, and I said, "What's my niche? What works for me that excites me?" And I was like, "Well, I obviously have gamer ADD because I can't just buy one game. I got to try they're Pokemon. You got to catch them all."
Right.
And so I said, well, I'm going to devote my channel to the little guys, to the indie, the small publishers out there. Because there's a million and one channels for, Dungeons and Dragons. There's a plethora of channels for Call of Cthulhu and a bunch for Pathfinder. But how many is out there for, Shatters of the, the war, or, Black Iron, or, Prowlers and Paragons. There's nothing. So that's what I do, is I try to give some of these indie press games a voice, let people see that, hey, this Mickey guy's pretty creative and he's on to something here, and just bring a little more knowledge to people, because Kickstarter is, everyone thinks, oh, I paid my money, where's my game, why does it take 2 years or 3 or 4 years, and
we were really late on this one.
Yeah, nobody understands that the amount of blood, sweat, and tears that go into producing a book that is literally, it's akin to your child, right? It's from your imagination. It's your view of this genre, this topic, this media. And it takes a lot to put that out there and let other people critique it and scrutinize it. Oh, this game sucks. I love watching reviews where the guys talk about the game and they've never played it. This game sucks because, and then like one guy was, he's an older gentleman. He does a couple reviews. He's kind of slacked off. I think he's out of the trade, but I don't know for sure. And I'm not going to mention any names or anything. I don't want to throw sand, even though we live on a beach. But he was talking about The Dark Eye and how this game, is terrible. And why would you roll 3 dice when you could just roll 1? And the combat is convoluted. So I reached out to him because The Dark Eye is one of my top 5 favorite RPGs. It's a German game by Ulysses Spiel, and it's a great game in my opinion, and it's got more depth and culture and fan base than D&D will ever have.
Wow.
And they've never done a new version where they just threw everything out and started over. They've just listened to player feedback and fans' feedback, and they create more and more and more. So they have this depth that you've never seen in a role-playing game before. It's amazing. And they, so I wrote the guy on YouTube and I said, well, have you played the game? Oh, no, I would never play this game. It sucks. Well, how do you know it sucks if you never... That's like saying, I don't like pizza, but I've never eaten pizza.
Right.
How do you know what pizza tastes like and know that you don't like it? Well, I don't like cheese, and I don't like bread, and I don't like pepperoni. But have you had them together? No. Right. Well, then you don't know if you like pizza. You may love pizza. Right. So, and he never replied back to me because I said, hey, come on my channel. I'll run a game for you. It's one of my favorite games. I'll run it for you and you can play it. And then you can form an opinion and, redo your video. And I think you'll find that if you're a little bit open, because I'm a firm believer, aside from Providence and Tattered Earth. There's another game called Tattered Earth that was so horrible. Go back in my review and watch it.
Okay.
It's called Tattered Earth. It was made by some local guys in Texas, and it was horrible. It was all over the place. Formatting was horrible. Colors were bad. It was horrible. But the guys that wrote the game and the guy he pimped it to me because it was post-apocalyptic and it was a skill-based system like Call of Cthulhu where when you use a skill you get a check mark and you can. And he sold it to me. I mean, he was a used car salesman selling sand in Saudi Arabia. He was that good. And I bought the book and I got home and I read the first 4 pages and I went, this is shite. I wouldn't wipe my ass with this game. It's that bad. Yeah. Providence at least had some redeeming qualities because the world was unique. The world was good. I thought the mechanics sucked ass. That's just me. But I really enjoyed the drummers, the different affiliations and everything. And, the people who had wings looked down on the people who didn't have wings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you were the eagle...
Social class, yeah.
Oh, it was a game ahead of its time for that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But to me, it had a really convoluted character creation system and everything. And those are my 2 top worst games ever. And I think that's the only 2 games in my 4+ years of doing this that I've ever given bad reviews of.
Oh, wow.
So, either I have really bad taste or I just.
Well, no, there's a lot of really good games out there. I mean,
there's tons of indie,
It's almost like, open up a restaurant in New Orleans because I've been there before, and you could throw a dart somewhere and you'll hit a good restaurant.
Oh, yeah, and there'd be a hole in the wall.
Right.
Yeah, and there's a place in Lake Charles called, great analogy, there's a place in Lake Charles called Daryl's, and they make a wet sandwich. So it's a po' boy. Right, and you know what that is, right? So it's French baguette, basically, a little doughier, and then it's ham, roast beef, and I think it's some sort of steak. I can't remember, like prime rib or something like that. And then they put cheese on it. I think it's provolone, and then they cover it with a gravy, this brown gravy. And it's a secret recipe. Nobody knows exactly what it is. The owner has since died. It's the best, messiest, god-awful amalgamation of
Bring
food.
a bib.
Yeah, bring a bib. Bring some waiters because you're going to get it. But it is so good, and you'll eat this and you'll just be like, I want more. and you get a foot long of this thing, and you waddle out of the store because you're so full. So role playing games are like that.
Yeah, because when you ask me like which one would I want with me or which one would I want to play, I'm going, oh my God, that list is like ginormously long.
I'm so glad you didn't say Providence. I'd have had to hang up on you.
I played it, so but yeah, no, I mean I've played a lot of weird games. I've run a lot of weird games, and I've owned a lot of weird games. But there's always something I feel that I can take away from something, even if I think
there's
it's
always
like,
something positive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the gaming community, I think, this is the one community where you can have purple hair and pink lipstick and fingernails, and you're a guy, and everybody else probably won't even bat an eye at you.
No.
So
we accept it.
Yeah, because we're coming to the table to tell a collaborative story 9 out of 10 times. Now you get your hack and slashers and your grognards that just but for the most part, you find a group like your group's 20 years long. That is a treasure. Those guys just aren't your players; they're your friends.
Yeah, they're our family.
Yeah,
they really are.
If one of them calls up and says, "Hey, man, I'm homeless," you're like, "Hey, I got a couch. Come on over until you get on your feet."
Right.
My good friend Darren did it for me. We fled Hurricane Harvey in Texas, and I said, hey, I need a place. And he's like, "Well, you like the cold? Come to Duluth." And here I am, 4 years, going on over 4 years, and now I'm in a house, and my wife and I both have decent jobs, and so it's great. So, and that's family. It's not only friends. I say I call Darren family. And he's an awesome friend, and like he opened his house, did not even hesitate. He said, "Hey, I got married, let me talk to my wife." But his wife knew me. She knew what kind of guy I was. She knew my wife, and they hadn't seen our son yet because they weren't there when he was born, and so they were like, "Yeah, come on." Called me later that night and said, "Yeah, come on out." And so I made the arrangements, and boom, we had a place to stay until we got on our feet, and life was good. So it's gamers are it's and that's the Mr. Mean Discord server, is that community for me. They are super awesome people. In fact, I need to make sure I get your mailing address because I'm going to send you some Mr. Mean stickers.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because and I told everybody I'm going to put a little note in there, but the caveat was you have to post a picture of where you stuck it. So you have to post a picture to the Discord.
I think I know where to put it at.
Yeah, keep it politically correct, or keep it PG-13. Hey,
no pasties.
Yeah, I got your sticker right here, buddy. We don't need any of those. Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't think I have too many young kids on my channel, but yeah, we have a good
sticker boudoirs.
Yeah, the boudoir. We have some good people on our Discord, and I'm pleased to say that it is a really great community of publishers, designers, artists, and just all around great people. And so I'm happy to invite you into the Mr. Mean Army. And you're an honorary meanie.
All right.
You're already on the channel, and feel free, like I said, to post there in that publishers. Before we wrap this up, because I'm getting tired of hearing myself babble. We know we talked about the 3 games that are coming out. Where can everybody buy the current Shattered game?
Right now it's only a PDF until I can get the books here. But if you go to DriveThruRPG, you can actually go to either the publishers where it says the Polyhedral Knights. It's the Polyhedral Knights.
TPK.
Yep, TPK. Or you can just type in Pirates of a Shattered World. And I think for right now, I think it's like $12.99 for the PDF.
That's a steal.
And it's a complete book. We crammed a lot in there. And also, too, even on YouTube and our website, and I think even on DriveThruRPG, at the bottom you'll see how to play the game, because we always shoot a video like for anywhere between 13 and 14 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it teaches you the game basics. So once you watch that, you can pretty much be ready to run the game.
Yeah. Well, I hate doing reviews off of PDFs, but I understand that it's a necessary evil. But let me know once the physical books are out. I can buy a copy.
You'll be getting one.
Well, either way, I won't say no, but I also know what it is to be a starving artist, so to speak. So think of the exposure. But no, I don't mind buying a copy. Just because I'd like to do a physical review, and I am proud to say that I am the only YouTuber on DriveThruRPG that is allowed to post video reviews.
Nice.
So yeah, so I'll definitely and then what I can do is send it to you, and you can put it. You can actually put it up on your page on DriveThruRPG, and then I'll also put it in the review section.
Nice.
So. That's like I said, when something grabs me, I dive in, head first. But it's only ankle deep, but I dived in head first.
We have a lot in there because it's not just you have the races which are unique.
Right.
You have a ton of different archetypes you can play.
Yeah. There's a plethora of stuff in there, and like I said, I'm sure you saw that I was like, guys, you got to pick this game up. This is cool. It's got everything but the kitchen sink, but I think that's an add-on. So definitely. Yes, it's in there. Page 37, subparagraph 6.
That's right.
Yeah. No, it's it's something to be proud of, man. You made a cool game.
Thank you.
And
everyone kept asking me, when are you gonna do a fantasy game? I'm like, I'm not gonna do your cliche fantasy game. If I'm gonna do a fantasy game, it's gonna be something different.
Right.
And they're like, well, you made different. I'm like,
yeah, you definitely got different. Just for those that haven't read the book yet, I thought one of the neat things was, how to become a follower of God X, and that the science types want to get that formula, for their own nefarious.
The science mages.
Yeah, the science mages. But prophesizing yourself to your God it's just not I follow Mars. No, it's a little more detailed. You want the benefits of Mars, you got to work for it, buddy. And I thought that was pretty cool. It was definitely a unique twist.
It's we really kind of try to find some ways to make it not the cliche type thing,
you
magic.
Definitely did that.
There's a whole detail thing about that.
And I'm reading the world, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is a pirate game, but what?
But it's not.
It's not. Well, it is, but
it is.
It's not. It hurts. My brain is hurting in a good way. I want more. So definitely feel free to in that publisher section on the Discord, pimp your products. You're a meanie for life now, unless you turn out to be a dick, and then I'll just ban you. But I haven't banned anybody yet, so that should tell.
I don't plan to be a dick.
Yeah, I don't think you will be. You seem like a pretty even keeled kind of guy. Yeah, pirate joke there, even keeled.
Ooh,
I'm smart sometimes. Don't let it fool you. So Mickey, I just want to thank you for coming on and chatting with me. It's been a pure joy, sir. You're a twisted mind of and I appreciate that. I would say you're my mirror universe evil, but I'm evil, so therefore you can't be, and I have more hair. So, but you have the goatee. Well, I don't know. It's all confusing. I have a longer beard. Yes.
That's right. You could braid it.
No, not quite.
Almost.
A little
maybe a little longer.
Well, and here's the sad part. Every summer I shave it off. So my wife hates it.
I get it.
My wife hates it.
Well, you gotta let that skin breathe, though.
Yeah, that's the story I'm sticking with. Yeah, but I look like I'm 12 years old again, so I got a baby face. Although
that's your face left.
Little wrinkles now, and lots of gray hair, as you can see. So I totally see.
Wisdom streaks.
That's what we'll call it, yeah. Or I just forgot to wipe, but
Or in the hairstyling world, we call it natural highlights.
The natural highlights of the gray variety, right?
That's
or
right.
Silver.
That's right.
So people don't know, what is your daytime profession? You are not a full-time game designer.
I am a licensed cosmetologist.
That is awesome.
A bald guy who does hair for a living.
Yeah. You gotta wear a hat one night and go through at 3:00 in the morning, go through the grocery store with just a full cart of hair care products, and then wait till the lady does the last one, and then pull off your hat and go, shit, what was I thinking? And then just walk out and just watch her go.
My brother, who also does hair for a living, he's bald as I am. His hair dryer died at work, and he had to run over Walmart to pick up one just so he can keep working. So he's in there, and this lady in line says, "You're bald. What the hell do you need a hair dryer for?" And he explained to her, why. Of course, the smart ass me, I probably would have said, I got to dry their furry parts off too.
Yeah, I see. I'd have played up the stereotype. I'd have been like, "Bitch, don't you understand? I got chest hair.
That's right.
I got to curl that
I got
shit.
manscape.
I got a manscape, bitches."
Right.
Yeah, I totally. Yeah, that would have been me. But or mind your own business. But
Yeah,
is that
no, my brother didn't do that. He was
no?
nice.
Of course not. So, well, you've been inducted into honorary Hall of Meanies. We've talked about your upcoming stuff. We know you're a hairdresser.
Yes.
I mean, I think we've covered it all, right?
Child to a child with a spectrum of autism.
Yeah, yeah.
So we
So
share that as
got
well
that in
too.
common. I never go to a hairdresser, so
That
neither
hasn't
do
seen a
you,
blade in
though,
some
to be
time.
honest. Right?
When you're in Florida, come on see me, man.
Yeah. No, because that is swamp ass area, and I refuse to go there. It's
In the
already
northern part.
We're in the like high 40s. And I'm like, oh god, it's hot.
Oh, I got the AC on and my fan blowing right now.
Yeah, our house is 65, and I'm like, can we turn the air down? My wife's like, no, you're freezing me out. I'm like, it's hot in here. Is it just me?
The meat's thawing. Come on.
Yeah, I don't have to buy a refrigerator. I just leave the windows open. Mickey,
Just hook it on.
no, well, that's all the dead player characters are on the meat hooks.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the TPKs.
Yeah, the TPKs. I love it. Check out the Black Iron by Feral Games Inc.
I will. Yeah.
Because remember
Actually,
I told
I'm
you.
that down before.
Yeah, you like dark elves. This is boy. You're gonna read this and go, oh shit, Jay is twisted. But hopefully,
Brother from another mother.
that's it. He's over in merry old England, so we tease him, and he's also a cat lover. So I really don't like him. I just pretend to like him, so that I'll get close enough to eat his cats. But so far, he's too far away. But I love him like a little brother. He's a great guy, and he spits out games. But check his stuff out. I think you'll find a kindred spirit there. We have a lot of publishers. Some big names on there: Andy Staples, Stephen Turner. All great guys, willing to help out, so it sounds like you've got it all down, but if you're Jay's self-taught, for a publisher and everything, and in design and stuff, so definitely. And Stephen Turner has some inside scoops on like distribution and things like that, so definitely if you ever need help, feel free to ask.
Yeah, because I've been pretty small potato. I don't really have any distributors right now except for just me and although with this product here, because I used Mitchell, who did the layout for this book, and he just knocked it out of the park the way it looks.
I will say, I'm flipping through the PDF. I mean, it's a lot of free based art and stuff like that, but it was attractive. It fit the theme, and the layout was really nice. It was easy to read. In fact, I'm gonna pull it up on my iPad when I hang up with you as I lay in bed and drift sweetly into Somberland and finish reading it, because I didn't get a chance to read all of it, but I'm very intrigued with it. And like I said, it grabbed me enough to wrangle you to come on the channel. So
well, I appreciate it. I feel honored. I really do.
I'm pleased that you were happy that I liked it. That
means
a lot to me, for what it's worth, because I consider myself a nobody. So thank you for putting that trust and faith.
I'm the king of nobodies here. Come on.
I'm the deity of kings of nobody.
Although I did have a nice review one time, and I was really pleased by this because I always say I'm a small fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
And he actually said we're the small fish in a big pond making big ripples.
Yeah. There you go. I like that. That's a good analogy. Tell him he's a kiss ass and stop it. No, it's been a pleasure, sir. Thank you for spending this time with me. It means a lot. It really helps my channel because people don't know about these games. They learn more. They tell their friends. It really does help grow the channel. Gives you some exposure and some attention, which is always good. And like I said, when I'm able to grab that physical copy, I'll do a full blown video review of it and say probably mediocre things about it, but I might even say something nice. But
awesome.
Remember the moniker Mr. Mean. So
That's true.
It's funny. Steve Grozowski or Grozowski, however he says his name, from Pickpocket Press was like, he's really not that mean. He's actually kind of a nice guy. I'm like, shut up! Don't start rumors. I will kill you. He's like, oh, there's the Mr. Mean. So Steve's a great guy.
I'm out.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to tell everybody before we say goodnight?
Check us out. Hope you like our books. I think we do a nice fine line between crunchy meets narrative, which not too many games do that, but we really strive to do that.
and you're going to send me all of your social media contact, your Facebook link, Twitter, or whatever you have, your Gmail.
I do Twitter.
Whatever you have. Yeah, I don't do Twitter either. Don't feel I'm a
probably
grognard.
should.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
doing. I refuse. Facebook was a big enough step, baby steps. Maybe when I'm 100, I might try Twitter, but I doubt it.
But yeah, I'll send you all my contacts.
Yeah, send me all your
know,
stuff.
so.
I'll put that in the show notes so people can reach out to you. Maybe someone's got a budding game design, and they need help or whatever.
I've had people come to me with hey, about like either printing or layout or writing or even like just bouncing ideas off of mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think it's always important that we pay it forward, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because I had people I talked to as well, and they were kind enough to talk to me. So,
right.
Matter of fact, actually, I will give a shout out to somebody who really talked me off the ledge. I almost didn't start printing at all. Jolly Blackburn.
Oh,
at the dinner table.
Yeah.
I was at a small convention, and he was doing a talk. But before he did a talk, there was this other designer who I won't name his name, okay? But let's just say he's written a lot in the gaming industry, and I was going to be trying to do Spy, and I told him about my thing and whatnot, and he basically just publicly just pooped on it and said it was a terrible idea and all kinds of reasons why.
Right.
Well, right afterwards, Jolly came up to me. He says, "Don't listen to him."
Yeah.
He's like, "If you like it, if you feel good about it," he says, "go with your gut and do it. Who cares what he says?" He's not all the people who buy that book.
Right. Yeah.
And now here's the kicker of it. That same person who pooped on it, 6 months later, was signing up to be a head writer on some other spy game at the time.
So he was really just trying to tank you so that you didn't have competition. That just tells you the caliber of that type of person. So, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I won't name names.
Right. We don't have to. No. And sadly, there's a ton of people like that in every industry.
But Jolly, though, he deserves some recognition.
Yeah, Jolly's a super nice guy.
He is.
Ken Hite is another one that's like that. If you have an idea,
I want to meet him. I've got all his stuff.
Yeah, he never shits on anybody's ideas. He'll give you and he's just a wealth of knowledge. This guy he's amazing. And my buddy Brian Isakoff used to run a podcast called 2D6 in a Random Direction, and it was a podcast.
I like it.
Yeah, and I had the pleasure of being on there with him. In fact, Mr. Isakoff is the gentleman who coined Mr. Mean. He gave me the moniker. But that's a story for another time. We will wrap this up. I want to thank you wholeheartedly. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, answering my silly, inane questions. And,
I love them.
Thank you for producing cool games. I look forward to the next product you make. And like I said, drop into the Meanie Discord and bounce ideas. And if you have questions, Stephen Turner's in there, Andy Staples in there, Steve Grogg's in there, Jay Lasarde's in there. There's Sean Patrick Fannon's in there every so often. So, pop a question. Somebody will have an answer for you. But it sounds like you know what you're doing. You got a couple books under your belt, and I look forward to eagerly seeing what you do next. So,
well, thank you very much. I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Oh yeah, we'll talk when you get the physical book. We'll maybe do a flip through or something like that. Yeah. You're always, anytime you want to pimp something, just reach out to me and say, hey, can we do a chat about this? I'm totally down with it. And Jay, if you're watching, my brother, I owe you another sit and chat. So we were supposed to do it this weekend, and I got tied up. So to all the meanies out there, as always, thank you so much. As Dave 2D says on his technological reviews, thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. Tell your friends, help grow the Meanie Army. Join the Discord. We have some very thought-provoking chats or a lot of dick jokes. Depends on what you like.
Provoking dick jokes?
There you go. Mickey, thank you so much, brother. We're going to fade to black. I want to thank everybody for watching. And as always, peace and hair grease. And remember, Mr. Mean says be nice.